Well, that was the thing. He played on the loyalty. He was a recognized of traits of human conditions. Cuz had X-ray vision that way. He saw it. He knew. So he said, okay, I need you to help me. Kevin Rooney's fighting in the Ohio State Fair. Back in those days, the Ohio State Fair was a national tournament, the biggest national tournament in boxing, as bigger than the Nationals. I mean, it was huge. It was the Ohio State Fair. 3 rings running at one time. Everybody in the country was there. Everyone. And Rooney was trying to make the Olympic team. So winning the Ohio State Fair gave you a leg up in that day. So he went, or winning the Nationals got you invited to the trials. These tournaments were important. The best of the best. So he knew. He said, I know how to get Teddy. So he called me up. He said, listen, Kevin Rooney's going to the Ohio State Fair. He needs somebody to work his corner. I need you. He knew that I didn't feel like going to the Ohio State Fair and giving up this great life of hanging out all night on the street and fighting every day and and having tie irons every once in a while hit you in the head or try to. I didn't want. Ken, I didn't want to lose. That would be like you losing your Lamborghini. You know what I mean? I didn't want to give that up. I was too smart. What a great thing I had. Idiot, right?
Yeah.
So but Cuz knew, that's all he had to say, I need you. Nothing else. I need you to do this. Bang. I'm going to Ohio State Fair with Kevin Rooney for a week. And he made it all the way to the finals. He should have won. And, of course, Cuz knew how to feed me. He said, you did a great job. We beat Davey Moore, future world champion. I think we beat him in the quarterfinals. Davey Moore from New York. Great kid.
Yep.
Great world champion, junior middleweight champion. God bless him. He's not with us no more. Terrible accident. And he's the fighter that Roberto Duran won his title back from in Madison Square. I was there. And we beat Davey Moore in the quarters, and then I'm trying to remember who we beat in the semis. All good fighters. And then we fought Bad Bernard. I'm going to get people out there that are going to send stuff in. I know it. We got real fans. Bad Bernard Mays from the Croc. Fast. He was bad. He was bad. He wasn't called bad for, not being good. That's a fighter. So we fight him in the finals. And Rooney had tender skin. He did. He'd start bleeding during the national anthem. I mean, it was one of the weaknesses, I mean, what are you going to do? You can't control that.
Yeah.
So here we are. We fought 5 times that week already. 4 times, 5 times. I'm not sure. And here we are. And we're in the finals with Bernard Mays and figured out how we're going to fight him. And what happens? He gets cut right over the eyelid in the first round. And the safety came first. They were very careful. They stopped the fight after the first round on the cut. Kevin was going to win the fight. I know you could say that.
At that time, were you in the corner? Like, was it just you and Kevin? Or in other words, did you have a cut man with you, or were you doing everything?
Well, I did everything. But in the amateurs, you couldn't really deal with, the way you could cut in a 10-round fight.
Yeah.
You just put pressure, Vaseline,
Yeah.
And if it was cut, they come and they look and they stop it, because in the amateurs, it's all about protecting the fighter and the safety level, Unless you were one of their favorites, they might.
Of course.
You know what I mean? Something got in their eye, and they didn't see that the guy was cut. You know what I mean? Like, I didn't realize, and they let him.
That's not just in the amateurs. You remember when Tyson Fury looks like he got shot with a bazooka in his eye, and they let him keep going? Was it against Otto Wallen?
Yeah, there's no way.
If that was Otto Wallen, they would have stopped that the second that cut opened up.
Oh, my goodness.
That was as bad as we've seen.
I mean, really, you didn't have to be, like I say on ESPN, you didn't have to be the Mason Kreskin to figure that one out. So that was his way of getting me back. And then, of course, I took care of Kevin every day. I made sure he ate right, made sure he made weight. You have to make weight every day. You got to, go through all the things. I mean, little things like we got a rainstorm. It was outdoors, 3 rings, and a rainstorm started one day. And in the middle of here we are, and you'd be fighting at 2 a.m. because there was so many fighters in the preliminary rounds, Ken. And here we are in the Ohio State Fair, dirt everywhere. Now it's mud, and you got guys up in the ring sliding across the ring right outside the ring. But why? Like it was an ice skating contest. I mean, it was crazy. But they got to keep going because they got so many fights to get through. So you got guys getting in there, and again, and there's mud all over the ring, and guys are sliding, falling, everything. So I'm saying, all right, Kevin, stay here. I found an area under a tent somewhere. I said, all right, we'll stay here, keep your shoes clean, and let me get some plastic bags. Kevin was like, what are you going to do? I said, just let me figure this out. So I got plastic bags. I put them around his shoes. I taped them. And then, because where you accumulated the mud, Ken, was the walk to the ring. Because you're walking through a fairground, you know. So I got plastic bags on his feet. And Kevin's looking at me. He said, what are you doing? I said, we're going to put these on. And we're going to get to the ring clean. And then when we're up just before we start, I'll take them off. And you're going to have an edge on the other guy. You won't have mud all over your shoes. and you won't slip. And then I took scissors and I scored the bottom of the shoes to give more traction. Just little things like that. And we won the fight that night. We were the only one that wasn't sliding, looking like Olympic skaters. You know what I mean? And And we win the fight, and I also told him, bend your knees more, sit down more, take steps. Don't move the way you normally move. Move more like with short steps, stuff like that. Just, it was common sense to me. And when Cuz heard about it afterwards, heard about the conditions, he said, see, I told you're a trainer. So, he started working on me, and he was, and then, like I said, I spent that year back in New York getting in trouble. I picked up this the scar on my side of my face, living the life I was living. And finally, I went back to Catskill after 1 year.